What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Big Blue Drew 97 here, and let me just wish y'all a happy Halloween, and also a happy day for the sins, because today we are dealing with, once again, the 7 deadly sins, or Nanatsu no Taizai, manga chapter, if I remember correctly. No, I'm definitely not looking it up. 330. Okay, yeah, no, I had it right. It was in my head, but yeah, manga chapter 330 titled The Struggle. And with this chapter, we get basically the resolution for the previous chapter in this chapter, where we see Zeldris. He's free from the Demon King now, so yay. But yeah, we basically are once again approaching the final battle, and almost the end of the Settling of the Sins, because pretty much all of like the crucial points that needs to be hit on has already been hit. We've hit with Zeldris finally being free. We've resolved Escanor and like his joining the party, as well as like giving his life. So in all honesty, like they can finish off the Demon King like maybe within like the next 2 or 3 chapters, because of how powerful they are. But we still, the one thing that we're missing is Arthur's resolution, because he's presumed dead. I don't think he's dead, but that's something that will be resolved hopefully within like the next few chapters. But without the way, let's go into what this chapter was. And it starts off, as I was saying, with Zeldris being free and the Demon King breaking apart from him, and like a lot of comments are made, specifically by Diane, where she's like, oh my gosh, is he in pain? And then we just have Merlin in the background being Merlin, and it's like, oh no, it's just the Demon King separating from him. And like, I'll say, in this chapter, there's like a lot of fun interactions between the sins, but as soon as the Demon King is freed, probably what we all would have expected is that Zeldris' body just goes back to like normal, and he's passed out, and when his body turns back to normal, the Demon King is like with his like black claw hands is like, no, he's like you're not gonna like get away from me. And then all of a sudden just Zeldris just disappears, and bodies just carrying him like he's a rag doll like this, and it's like, don't worry, I got him. And everyone's like, thanks, Bod. And he's like, yeah, you owe me 10 rounds of ale. And so that's just another funny interaction. But then we also see when Zeldris actually begins to come back to life, and he's talking, and he's like, looks up at Meliodas with the vampire queen just hugging around him, thanking the sins for saving him and whatnot. And he just looks up, and Meliodas is like, yo, I'm so happy that you defeated Father. And Zil is just looking, and then instinctively goes into the vampire queen's boobs, and it's just a hilarious moment. And I just like, he pulled a Meliodas right there, just like he was embarrassed, so he just dug his face into the boobs. But what makes this part even better is that Meliodas commented, he's like, oh, so you're a boobs kind of guy. And Zell is just so embarrassed to admit it. He's like, no, I'm not a boobs guy, baka. Oh gosh, I just realized that they're in a tsundere relationship, and that is amazing. So yeah, he's just embarrassed, but like, it just shows that they are brothers, because Meliodas would have did the exact same thing. He just would have been a little bit more perverted about it. But while all this fun and games is going on, there's still a king of the demons still there. So like, they initially realized like, oh yeah, we should probably deal with that. And the Demon King apparently is a Pokemon. Yeah, because he pulls out a Draco Meteor, shoots himself into the air, and just like has meteors spread apart. Yeah, that makes sense. He's probably like dark type, probably dark ghost. If he was the Demon King, he would also be flying as well, because he's the Demon King. He has all the Pokemon abilities, but no, in all honesty, it looks like a Draco Meteor. But unlike Draco Meteor, where it just destroys everything around him, he absorbs the entire land. Yeah, it's basically Draco Meteor. Yeah, but no, the Demon King basically just turns to these black globs, and like as soon as he hit the ground, everything around it just gets consumed by this darkness. The trees, the hills, the animals. The animals just look like they're possessed by the Demon King, and it just all coalesces into like this. How do I put this? He becomes Cthulhu. He becomes literally Cthulhu. Like, the land lifts up. He bursts through basically like the tournament ground that Diane like created. Bursts through that, and like while he's doing that, everyone's like protecting it. And what I also enjoyed about this scene is like when the Demon King bursts through like the floor, everyone is like protecting like their loved ones. Like the Vampire Queen is protecting Zeldris. Meliodas is protecting Elizabeth. Even King is protecting Diane in the bubble, even though we know that like they can take care of them. And like the three who don't have their loved ones with them are just sitting there, just in the explosion, just looking. And then yes, we see the Demon King's like new vessel, and he's literally Cthulhu. Like the tentacles on his face, like this, just the embodiment of like what evil is. And like at this moment, and something that we haven't really seen on, like we get like a cut to Hawks, and this is also a funny scene because we see Hawks riding his mom pig, and he's like, okay, come on mom, let's hurry up, we gotta go save the sis. Oh my gosh, mom, turn back, no, danger. Immediately like realizes he's gonna turn back, but this is Mama Pig, she's gonna save all of them, while Hawk is like, turn back mama. And then we get another cut to pretty much like the reactions of everyone else in Britannia, and what is even better is that we see some people that we haven't seen in a while. I got like a little list in order of how they occurred. We got Jenna and Zenaria, who are the Druids. You would know them precisely of the people who sealed Meliodas' abilities, unsealed them, and lied to Elizabeth that, oh yeah, no, you're not powerful at all. It was like, and then as soon as that, he was like, oh no, she's like, they knew exactly like what their relationship was. And so yeah, they're sitting here and they're like, oh my gosh, everything is doomed. And then we cut back to like the capital city of Britannia, where we see Hauser, Gilthunder, Margaret, Veronica, as well as Killamore, you know, the big dude with the barriers. We also see them as well as the king, and they're all like basically panicking, and as well they are also holding on to their loved ones as well, like they're holding on to them as well, and they're realizing, oh my gosh, especially the king, he's like, it's all over, we're all gonna die. And then after that, we even cut to the fairy forest, where we see Elaine and Matrona, like the other giant, as well as like the little kids on her shoulder, and like everyone's like, and one of like the little fairies goes up to Elena and asks her, Elena Sama, are we gonna die? And then we also, and then we also cut to Henderson and Dreyfus, and if you look very carefully, you also see Gila, as well as Jericho in the background too. So we just cut to pretty much like everyone who has played a part in the series, small or large. Even like we see the little boy in the background who's like was like envious of the Seven Deadly Sins and wanted to be like them. We see him in the background as well, and like they're all thinking to like, we're all scared, we're all fearful, like what are we gonna do? Someone help us. And even the Demon King is like, tremble and resign yourself to death. But then he looks down and is like, what are those expressions of yours? Looking at the sins, and like he's like, what's going on with you guys? Why aren't you trembling? The entire country is trembling. Why aren't you? And then we just have just a panel of all of the sins just standing and posing. And what's great about it is that as they're posing, they also like give like a little bit like remark. You have Diane who's like, oh well, I'm not afraid because I got my friends. You have King being like, oh yeah, I got a wedding to plan. And you have Gother is like, I hate men who can't take a hint. And then we also get like amazing poses from like Merlin, who's like being snarky, and it's like, oh, this is the body that you decided to get? Oh, you must be desperate. And then Escanor's like, ha ha ha. Ah, you're such an idiot, Demon King, Demon Lord. Ah, you're so stupid. And then Bond, as always, sings, and it's like, we're gonna take these guys down. So yeah, if anything, what I enjoyed about like this final scene right before Meliodas tells everyone to go is that we kind of get like a feel for their personalities, which is like something that is very great because it shows like they aren't just like these like pinnacles of just pure destruction, but they are also, for the most part, well-developed characters, and you can distinguish a personality just by like the one line that they speak. Diane is really, and like some of them is one-dimensional, but like Diane, she really loves her fans. King really likes Diane. Merlin is snarky. Escanor is literally prideful, and like Meliodas is like the leader, so he tells them to let's go. So it shows all their personalities that, and you can distinguish them from each other, which is something that I really enjoy about just reading any form of like media, but yeah, any form of like manga, as well as like watching different shows. That's probably one of the very things that I look for in like something that I'm watching or reading, and I thought that was really good in this chapter. And so that's basically the end of the chapter. And when it comes to this chapter, it is an average chapter, really, realistically speaking. But I enjoyed a lot of the callbacks, specifically showing people that we haven't seen in a while. Like, in actuality, I forgot that the Druids actually existed. I had to basically look up their names for this. So it's just good to, like, see them, as well as, like, see, like, how people are reacting to the environment. Not just, like, the side characters, but the characters themselves getting more of, like, establishing more of like their personalities by what they say, as well as like the actions that they did. Even like the funny moments between Meliodas and Zeldris, like how like it shows that they are brothers because they acted very similarly towards like people that they cherish or that they love. So when it comes to like the actual chapter, I think it was average, but when it comes to the interactions between the characters, I thought they were really good. So all in all, this is basically my review of this chapter. Like I said, I would give it a 3, and hopefully you'll be able to watch my next review next time. This video is coming out a little bit later because the translations came out later than I wanted or expected, so it's a little bit late, but I'll still able to get it out. So hopefully I'll be able to catch you guys in my next video. Bye.